So my name is Mart Reker from the Netherlands. I have a clinic there. I'm 42. I live in Amsterdam. So there's a lot of beautiful city here to do beautiful things. I love my country. And I have a clinic. So I'm specialized in cosmetic pigmentations. I'm specialized in holistic health solutions. And there are actually two different worlds, but it is beautiful that, let me just stop the video of someone. Yes, that's better. So I have two different worlds, but it's basically because I have had Lyme's disease for 26 years. I didn't know I had it, but I had all kind of complaints and the doctors couldn't find and the specialists couldn't find anything. So I ended up 15 years in the alternative circuit and I found frequency therapy. And that was basically helping me to get aligned every month with the treatment. It was costing about €100 for each treatment. That's quite a lot of money. So I only had money for only once a month to get myself back in balance. But it was helping, and it was helping big time. And it was helping so much that I actually got myself into alternative medicine. I started to study nutrition. I started to work with a lot of therapists together. And 2 years ago, I found out it was Lyme's disease. I went in a complete natural treatment to get rid of it. And the last 4 days of the frequency therapy was the last 4 days of the treatment was frequency therapy with a Rive machine. So I know what frequencies are doing. However, my body was just really, really so tired, and all the pain I had of the damage of the Lyme's disease. I had brain fog in my head. I couldn't concentrate. I was super sensitive. And then the Healy came on my path 1.5 years ago. I got a phone call from a friend of mine. He said, Mart, you're working with frequencies, right? I said, yes. He said, are you interested in looking at a small wearable frequency device? I said, yes. So he invited me to Germany, where Marcus Mika, the inventor of this all, was speaking, and I had the privilege to have my first experience. They hooked me up on the Healy. They put the energy program because they saw that I was so exhausted after 7.5 hours in the car and all kind of traffic jams. And literally in 10 minutes time, I was on. I was having energy. My eyes weren't falling down again. So this was my first experience. I was really, really intrigued by it. And I thought, like, we have golden hands. And we are going to set this out around the world. So if you're watching this webinar, English is not my native language. So sometimes I mumble something and maybe you think like, what is this guy talking about? But, you know, just think I'm Dutch. So maybe that helps. What I'm going to do in this webinar is I'm going to talk about how frequency therapy actually was invented, about the people behind this company, about the Healy itself. You're also getting a small demonstration. So the Tuesday webinar that I always give is just a little bit more in depth than what you normally would see on a presentation. So get yourself, buckle up, because there are quite some slides we have to take. So if you don't like it, then just go. But at least I can think that you get a lot more sense about what the Healy can do. And if you want to hear it another time, then next week we're doing once again. So let me just start with my presentation. Share. Okay, we're going to talk about health, well-being, balance, and frequencies for life. And basically everything is frequency, because one of the greatest inventors of all time, Nikola Tesla, and 1800, he already understood that if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. The world would have looked different if the fundings for his free energy concept weren't stopped. there was no money to be made on free energy. So the investors in that time, they were just rolling out electricity networks and they just put a lot of money in it. So this was actually a threat. But if we would have had all the inventions of Nikola Tesla, the world would have looked much, much different. Albert Einstein, he took the theories of Nikola Tesla, and in 1905 he published 3 papers. He put quantum physics in the world, and he got a Nobel Prize for it in 1921. Because what they find out is that everything is frequency, and engineers, inventors, etc., all people, scientists, they find out that frequencies can shatter things. For example, the right frequency can shatter a glass, but the right frequency can also shatter a parasite. It can burst a parasite. It can burst a bacteria or virus. So with frequencies, you can destroy things. With frequencies, you can neutralize things. Think about those noise-canceling headphones. They are sensing what the sound is, what the frequencies of the environment are, and then they give a counterbalance, and it neutralizes the sound. So it becomes very silent. But did you also know that pain is a frequency? So with the right a frequency to counterbalance it, you can neutralize it, and then you don't have pain anymore. But frequencies can also stimulate, for example, the tissue and the organs and the things that actually are a little bit more slowed down or standing still. Frequencies can stimulate it again. And then I want to give you an example of if you record the from a guitar, if you record the snares, if you just, you bump them and then you record it. And then without touching the snares, you are putting a loudspeaker underneath the guitar and you play the sound. You see individually the same snare starting to vibrate again, the ones that you just plugged. So this is really, really interesting. With frequencies, we can stimulate things. So from 1920, they started to experiment with frequencies, and they find out that certain frequencies, they are working on reducing inflammations. They can help with allergic reactions. They can help with fibrosis. They can help with scar softening. They can help with all kind of aches, actually. Of course, this was a big threat for the pharmaceutical companies who were just rolling out a new way of treating people and patients with medicine, like made from petroleum oil. And this was something they couldn't make money on. So this was a threat, and they started to accuse people of quackery. So this is really something to keep in mind, that sometimes we get the questions of people like, why haven't we seen this before? It is because of that. Big Pharma was a real pain in the ass in holding this, and there was not a possibility to write about. And then Dr. Rife came, one of the greatest inventors of microscopes, but also because he studied medicine and he specialized in bacteria and etc. And he found ways how to make the Rife machine. And that is with a plasma tube. And that's actually where I'm being treated with like 2 years ago. And that is sending out very strong vibrations, frequencies. And those frequencies, the right frequencies, can also help people with various cancers. So all people were being helped. And this was big news. This was in all the newspapers. It was sent out everywhere. There's even a documentary. So do your own research. But Big Pharma saw this as a huge threat. They destroyed the laboratory of Dr. Rife. They took the equipment. They said to Dr. Rife, you can never speak about it again. Dr. Rife got addicted to alcohol because everything was being suppressed. All people working with frequency therapy back then, they were said, like, you can never use it again because otherwise you will lose your medical license or we put you in jail. So it was for a very long time silent. In 1980, 1990, Russian and German scientists, they started to experiment again and they find beautiful equipment. And 15 years ago, I was treated with one of these equipments. And then came the time waver. So the time waver is considered the Ferrari or the Lamborghini amongst frequency devices. I have two myself. I have the frequency, the time waver frequency and the time waver med. The time waver frequency is working with microcurrents, and the time waver med is working with our energy field. It's like our information field, energy field, aura, whatever you want to name it. The computer programs are fantastic, phenomenal. They are so huge. It's unbelievable what you can do with a time waver. It's like, wow, really bizarre. But the wish of those time waver therapists was to have a smaller device where people can treat themselves at home as well. Because if one treatment at a time waver therapist is costing €100, $100, then how often would you go a month? I think one time, maybe two times. But how would it be if you can have 3 till 4 treatments a day? And this is what the possibility is with the Healy. So there's much more effectiveness, let's say that way. They started to roll out the Healy amongst therapists about 4 years ago. So the Healy is already 4 years on the market, 5 years now. But the Healy is, it was costing much more money back then. The time waver is costing between $12,000 and $40,000. So there's a lot of investment being involved when you have these big devices. But the Healy is simple. The Healy is something that you can use at home with a simple to use app. So when the Healy came out, it was costing a few thousands of dollars. But they had to make a lot of advertising. And advertising is expensive. So the web shop was not working enough. People want to have this Healy in their hands. And the inventor of this, he thought, like, if people have this Healy and they are excited about what it is doing to themselves, the Healy will also be shared with others. And this is social sharing. And why wouldn't we help those people to give them a commission because of sharing that, to share a Healy with someone else? We don't have to make any advertising. That's what Healy World thought. We don't have to make any advertising. So we can reward people for the behavior they do when they share something. And this is really cool. This is actually the same what is happening at your gym. At your gym, there are some certain posters, and it says like, okay, refer a friend to us and you get 1 month or 2 months free membership, and maybe like a sport bag as a gift as well. That is social sharing. So everyone is doing that. The normal way of advertising is dead, is not working anymore. So 1.5 years ago, Healy World was erased as a full daughter company of the Time Waver Group, a solid German company which is already 15-year market leader. So Healy World is really the sun. It is new, it is young, it is exciting. It is not fully grown yet. The customer service is not fully entirely, and especially after a huge promotion, there are swamped in tickets. So maybe the reply time is not as fast as you are maybe expected from an Apple company. But this company is doing everything to get all those things in line. So we are really at the beginning of something beautiful. And this is what's happening with Healy World right now. The inventor of this all is Marcus Mika. He studied physics when he was already 15 years old. He became a monk in India for 12 years. He came back, had a lot of questions, started to study philosophy to bring those worlds together. Author of 25 books, founder of several institutes, lecturer at several congresses, also about medicine. And he has like this huge vision. He wants to make his technology accessible to all humans. And the big vision is he wants to put 100 million Healys in the world within now and 7 years. And he's going to succeed. It's unbelievable what already has happened in 1.5 year time. Of course, he cannot do everything by himself. So he has gathered a whole international team of scientists, physicians, therapists, and engineers that are working together. And one of the most special people he bumped into was this Portuguese guy, Nuno Nina. I challenge you right now to say this name 10 times in a row. Nuno Nina, Nuno Nina, Nuno Nina. I'm sure you will break your tongue, right? So he is this specialist. He's a mathematician, and therefore also studying alternative medicine. He is the developer of about 144,000 frequencies. And with those frequencies, he can make combinations. And he was looking for a device that could read the body and also treat the body, and that it is not overdoing the body with all these frequencies. And then he bumped into Time Waver Group. So he became the developer of the Time Waver, but also a co-developer of the Healy. He is also treating people that are coming from all parts of the world who are almost done with their, they have seen all doctors, all specialists, and they cannot be helped anymore. And they still have a lot of success with Nuno Nina. He's also the doctor of Ronaldo, the soccer player, and the whole football soccer team that belongs to that. He's a celebrity in Portugal because he is really a specialist, lots on TV, because he's like more specialized in alternative medicine, and people are really, really excited about that there. So he really has a voice. And if you want to grow, you need to have a lot of money. Christian Halper, entrepreneur, founder of the European Super Fund hedge fund. He sold his part in it. He invested in Bitcoin in the right time, so he became a multi-billionaire, and he's only investing in sustainable technologies. I have met all these three gentlemen, and all these three gentlemen, they have like this twinkle in their eyes. They have this amazing energy when you are around them. When they enter a room, someone is really entering a room. It's unbelievable how beautiful and pure their souls are. So I'm really happy that we have these people on board. Of course, we need to also to have a medical advisory board. So we have 98 people assigned to us, and these are the most important ones. Dr. Karen McMacken is very interesting to announce, because in the USA, she is responsible for all the NFL sport organizations to be treated. They're treating their athletes, which are costing millions of dollars. They need to be treated with frequencies within 3-4 hours after a heavy match or after an injury. And then the recovery time is 60 till 80% faster. So really, really happy that we have all these great people on board. In most parts of the world, we can say Healy is a class 2 medical device and has met all required tests and inspections. The Healy is developed and produced in Germany, so real solid German quality. There are all kinds of patents and technology to secure the communication between the smartphone and the Healy, but also between the smartphone and the cloud. We have to deal with data, and data needs to be protected of the highest thing. So we have all kinds of master keys and things that are helping to protect the data. Even at Healy, they don't know that Mrs. Jones maybe has a bladder problem. They only see what frequencies are doing, so it's not attached to a name. Very important to know. So to make claims and to say that we are a medical class device 2A, we handed over about 40,000 papers and of proof, medical studies, double-blind, placebo-controlled, etc., in order to make some claims. In the USA, we can say Healy is FDA cleared as a medical device for pain relief. So really, really cool that we can also make things. In most parts of the world, we can only, in some parts of the world, we are just a wellness device, but it has exactly the same programs as what we have as a medical device. However, we can make claims. So most parts of the world where we are a medical device, not in the USA, we can say Healy is a medical device for the treatment of pain and chronic pain, fibromyalgia, skeletal pain, and migraine, as well as for the supportive treatment of mental illnesses such as depression, anxiety, and related sleep disorders. All other applications of Healy are not recognized yet by conventional medicine due to a lack of evidence in the sense of conventional medicine. But so much more interest is going to be made in the field of frequencies that eventually we get much more case studies and also much more studies that we can show that we can do much more. Of course, to make these claims, it is costing the company millions because they have to hand over all these papers that needed to be treated, etc. So, but these are the most important ones that people can be helped with. For the USA, we can say Healy is a microcurrent medical device that has been cleared by the US Food and Drug Administration for the relief of acute chronic and arthritis pain and muscle soreness due to overexertion. Healy has also non-medical applications that use individualized frequencies to help balance your mind and body and relieve stress. Always use your Healy in accordance with its instructions for use. It's a small device, so it's like 5 by 5 centimeters, which is like 2 by 2 inches, a half an inch thick, and there is a sensor underneath. But before we know, we need to understand the body a little bit better. So the human body is a quantum biological system. We are, let's say, walking antennas. Sometimes people say, my spirit, my soul is in my body. Well, I got news for you. Your body is in your spirit. We are surrounded by this whole energy field around us. This cloud of energy that we are producing and frequencies that we are producing is basically, together with our body, our organism. Our tissues, they exist out of cells. The cells exist out of molecules. The molecules exist out of atoms. And if you take the atoms, they are consisting out of a nucleus and some electrons that are spinning around. And that is being held together with electromagnetical connections. And between that and what's happening there with all the spinning around is pure energy. So we are pure energy in the form of a body. Did you know that each of these atoms, they have their own frequency? It's the consistency of the nucleus and the electrons that spin around that has a unique frequency. But we are this combinations of molecules, and our cells or our tissue is a combination of those cells again. So you can imagine that our kidney tissue has a different frequency, a different resonance frequency than our bone tissue or our skin tissue. So everything has their own unique frequency. But also think about material around us. Think about metal, it has a frequency. Think about stone or wood or glass, everything has a frequency. But thoughts are also a frequency, light is a frequency. We are basically, and this is exactly what Nikola Tesla says, if you want to know the secrets, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So we are living, let's say, orchestras. We are sending out our own unique vibration, energy. So we are also communicating on a subconscious level. with each other via that energy field, via that vibration field. So when you enter a space where there is this negative energy, you sense that. This is what we feel. This is what we sense. The opposite as well. If you fall in love, you are resonating and that person is resonating maybe very well together, and you are being a match energetically as a resonance energy. We are also communicating on a subconscious level, on a quantum level, maybe on distance. You think about your best friend, which is maybe thousands of miles away, and he's calling you. Is there a connection between you and your friend, like a wire or something? No. But his antenna, his body, his energy field is sending out a signal, and you think about it, and you think about it back, and your friend is calling. This is what we are communicating with. This is also how the Healy works. So we are power plants. We are walking energy stations, and each cell is producing their own energy. When we have healthy bodies, when we have healthy young cells, it has a certain kind of voltage, and the voltage is very negatively charged. And young cells, when they are negatively charged, let's say around minus 70 millivolt, it's optimum, then nutrients and oxygen can enter the cell very easily, and waste products and toxins can go easily out of the cells. It goes via the cell membrane, your cell wall. So with an optimum negative charged environment in our body, it goes very easy and our body can function very, very good. Just by aging, our cell membrane voltage goes more up. We are getting more positive charged. On top of that, we are exposed to a lot of radiation. Think about your mobile phones, the tablets, the computers, the laptops, the cell towers, the Wi-Fi, the smart meters, everything that is smart, everything is producing this EMFs, this electrical magnetical fields, and those are actually disrupting our own natural vibration. So we are getting much faster positively charged. And when that happens, we got much more aches and pains, more inflammations, more edema, and eventually even an environment, if we don't take care of it, where we have much more tumor cells. So what happens when there's a more positive charged environment? The cells, they cannot uptake nutrients and oxygen so well anymore, and they cannot give the waste products away. The cell wall hardens, the cell membrane hardens. So what the Healy is doing is it is helping with the electrodes, with the microcurrents in the frequency programs. The microcurrents, they are basically recharging our body to a more negatively charged environment. So eventually our cells, they are starting uptaking nutrients again, and they are giving the waste products away. This is science. This is not a blah blah story. If you search for the name Bjorn Nordenström, then you find that he was actually the chairman of the Nobel Prize Committee. So we're really talking about science here. So what happens if there's a more strong and negatively charged environment? Again, more amino acids will be entering the cells. So you can read this slide best from the bottom to the top. So more amino acids will enter the cells, and they are the building blocks for protein synthesis. Protein synthesis is the process where protein structures are being made that build our cells, that build our tissue, that are also duplicating the DNA much better. So that is very important. So when that is being upped, then also more mitochondria can be made in the cells. And the mitochondria are the ATP producing power plants of the body. And ATP is the energy substance in our cells. That is basically what is giving us our energy. Now I'm just taking you to an example. Think about young children. Young children have young, healthy cells. They have a strong negatively charged environment. How quick are their wounds healing compared to older people of 70, 80 years old? You understand now why? How much energy do the young kids have compared to older people? So what the Healy is doing is increasing this whole process that you are getting much more energy, etc., that your cells are being rebuilt, that your DNA is copied much better. So yes, this will have, on the long term, it will have beautiful effects for you. There are 120 programs diverted over 16 program categories. If you select one of these program categories via your simple to use app and you select a program, then it gives you the instructions to use adhesive electrodes, bracelet electrodes, ear clip electrodes. Very easy. For the USA, because of FDA regulations, we can only see pictures with adhesive electrodes. Of course, the person who introduced you to this webinar, they have much more info, so they can instruct you much better on how to use them. And of course, you're getting your wristbands, but as a separate shipment. So it is because of FDA regulations, but you still get your wristbands. Don't worry about that. When you have selected a program, each program is a combination of those 144,000 frequencies. An average program of 50, 60 minutes has about 400 frequencies. Those 400 frequencies, they cannot be used all together on the body. The body needs to determine which frequencies are good for you at that moment. So the quantum sensor in the Healy is the artificial intelligent part. It is communicating with your body. It's sending out, in the first 9 minutes, it sends out the most important frequencies that it wants to test on your body. And your body will respond to it like, hey, I really love these frequencies, but I don't like those frequencies. The ones he doesn't like are going to be skipped. The ones he really likes, he remembers. And then after the first 9 minutes, it's going to upload these frequencies into the body until the body says like, okay, I had enough of it, so I go to the next frequency. This is unique. There is not a single other device as a wearable that is doing this. With most devices in the world that are working with frequencies or tens or whatever, it's just sending out one or maybe two frequencies. You have to set it in, you have to set it in time, and maybe the body doesn't even like it. But with the Healy, it's different. The Healy is really communicating between you and your body what it needs at that moment. So it is sending out via the electrodes, it's communicating with you, always real time. So if I would have the program release and you would have the program release, I get a custom-made program and you get a custom-made program. How cool is that? There is a minus and a plus on it, and it's just to get it at the right intensity. Most frequencies you don't even feel. And sometimes maybe you can feel a little tingling, or maybe like if someone touches your skin, very subtle or whatever, but most frequencies you just don't feel. One golden rule, it always needs to feel nice. You should never feel too much of it, because otherwise you are not having the right optimal ATP production. So this is a very good thing to know. So most frequencies you just don't feel. How would it be if you would have freedom from pain? I think we all know people who have pain. If I'm in the USA and I'm in my hotel, and it's always funny because all the hotels have like huge television screens and they are sending out like 4 minutes of like some breakfast program, and then you have 6 minutes of commercials. And let's say 70% of the commercials is always about medicine and painkillers. It's unbelievable. You know, for me as a Dutch guy, seeing that, it's like unbelievable how pain and medicine is the way to push a business in the USA. So how would it be if you can have a contribution with a non-invasive drug relief from acute chronic and arthritis pain, and how to help people with muscle soreness? I think with a natural way and without all kind of chemicals. How many lives can we change with this? I think a lot. Think about some people right now in your environment who you think like who has pain or is using a lot of medication. Maybe this yourself. So how would it be if you could be, or if you can get rid of this? Maybe something worth to try. Before, the Healy was only used for sick people, but the Healy is not only for sick people. The Healy is for everyone. So the Healy is also for prevention. Prevention is the best way. How would it be if you would never have to pop in an Advil or a painkiller? That would be cool, right? So if you would get your body in an optimum shape, if you would get your body in an optimum state where all the cells are just uptaking the nutrients very well, we also have to include two other pillars. We have to include nutrition. So we have an app and we have digital nutrition, in where we can guide you in what things to buy, what kind of shopping lists you need, what kind of programs can help you to support you in all kind of ways. And did you know that with digital nutrition, you don't necessarily need to eat certain supplements anymore, because the digital information can enter our body and the cells much quicker than you need to eat something, and this needs to be digested, and heat and acids and a lot of things that are going to be destroyed in the process. But now we can have the information component without the physical component. We can get the information component to the cells. Of course, we still need to eat. We need to have building blocks. But now it is a possibility to get the information, because supplements also have a frequency. They consist out of molecules. They have a frequency. So now we can give that as, let's say, Wi-Fi or Bluetooth signal to our cells. Interesting, right? We also need to include motion and exercise. So we have one of the most advanced fitness trackers, the Healy Watch, and together with an app, it is communicating with your body and it is giving some suggestions of programs. So all these kind of apps, they are working together. We have apps that are basically part of Healy. We also have apps where you have or need a subscription for. So the watch connector is a subscription, the digital nutrition is a subscription, and it doesn't matter, but everything works together. And all these information will be gathered in the expert database. Again, everything is encrypted. Nothing of the data of persons will be revealed. Even at Healy, they cannot see it. But they know what kind of certain frequencies are popular, what frequencies are working, and what the progress is. This is what we know. So with 15 years of knowledge in expert database, this company is going to be already $1 billion company, because we are running ahead 15 years on every other company in the world that is doing frequency therapy. Really, really interesting. So it's one product for the whole family. We have all kind of categories, but I think it's better for you to see how that actually works. So I'm gonna treat you on a nice, let's say, a nice screen share so I can show you how these apps actually are working. I mean, a small demonstration never hurts, right? We have 4 apps here. The Heal Advisor, where the digital nutrition is in, the Healy Watch connector, and we have an app with a pink dot and an app with a blue dot. The app with the pink dot is the treatment app, where we have 120 programs in, and they're only working with the electrodes. Unfortunately, people with a pacemaker, people with epileptic disorders, or people who are pregnant, they cannot use this app because it's working with microcurrents. We also have the app with the blue dot, and that is for the resonance. It is the same Healy, but you have access to this app if you get the most, if you get the big package, the resonance, and then you can do analysis. But I'm going to show you later on. So at the moment is running the energy program. I can do it higher, I can do it lower, but for me it always works around 50-60%. I love it. There are people who are very, very sensitive, and maybe they need to start with 10, 15, 20%, just depending on what works. What I want to show you is that we have all kind of program groups. So we have the Gold Cycle, Pain Psyche Learning. I go through them right now. On each Healy, it doesn't matter which version you have, this is the standard. The Gold Cycle programs developed by Nuno Nina, they are on each Healy. And he says that with these 7 programs, you can help everyone. The Pure program is to get rid of toxins, to detoxify, to balance the negative environmental issues, or to balance, maybe unhealthy food that you have taken. Care is to boost your immune function, your immune system. Balance is to balance out your organs and cells, and physically. Being is to get mentally in balance. Energy for energy, relax for relaxation and stress. And release is to let go of pain, but also mental pain. So all these 7 programs, they are amazing. Very, very beautiful, profound programs. Then we advise everyone to start with it at least like 1-2 weeks and try what is happening. Then we have specialized program groups like the Pain Psyche. In the USA, you will only see numbers. So, luckily we in the rest of the world, we can say chronic pain, teeth, jaw, local, migraine, depression, anxiety, insomnia, joints, local, and chronic back pain. We have learning programs to improve your memory, to help you when learning a new language, concentration. Much love these programs. I have ADD and I'm very easily distracted. So if I really need to concentrate on something, then this is just really get me focusing. Fitness programs, because of Lyme's disease, I couldn't train for 5 years. I had a lot of pain in my joints. The Lyme's bacteria was really destroying a lot of things there. But with the programs, I started working out again about 9 months ago. So I'm really, really happy that this happened again, and that I get back on track, and that I feel healthier than ever. Regeneration goes much quicker, much more strength, much more stamina. Losing weight for people, amazing. But it's also helping people with lactic acid after a workout. Job programs. Who do you know who lost his or her job right now? Do they have a lot of depression? Do they have a lot of anxiety or stress? Or are they tired because they are working over hours in the care industry, maybe? You know, these are really good programs to help with a burnt out feeling. Amazing, amazing programs. The sleep programs, I love them because I was sleeping very bad. And when using a sleeping program 1 hour before sleeping, slept like a baby. Mental balance programs. So in most parts of the world, we can say that it is working against depression and anxiety. So really profound programs, and a lot of issues actually, they are coming from a mental spectrum. So maybe you think you have back pain, but it can be a mental thing. Think about that. We have contentment programs that work on addictions. So really, really profound programs for that. Beauty programs, well, I still didn't get more beautiful than I am, but it's working on my skin, definitely. I had a severe sunburn last year in summer. I was lobster red. I was using the skin program twice a day. Also support wound systemic twice a day. And instead of peeling after 2 weeks, I started to peel after 5 days. My skin was already healed after 5 days. I had no pain, the redness was gone, and my brown color stayed on my skin about like 5 weeks, and normally it's like 1 week. So I was really, really happy with that. We have reports of people that have more hair growth, that the nails getting stronger, that they are having beautiful results with scars. Amazing. Then my absolute favorite ones, if you want to understand the body and treat the body much better, programs to boost your immune system, to fight against the cold, to work against allergies, eyes, hormones, intestine, nerves, flexibility, circulatory system, potency, menopause, menstruation, gastrointestinal, if you have stomach and bloating and bacteria or parasites, whatever. Tonsils, liver function, intolerances, toxins, head, prostate, lung function, thyroid. Ooh, who do we know with that? Who do we know with joints and bones issues, arthritis? How would it be if we can help those? Meridian programs based on thousands of years of wisdom from the Chinese traditional medicine. Meridians, energy streams throughout the body that are connecting all kind of organs and things together. So all kind of programs to help and support you in that. Then we have chakra programs. The throat program I'm using a lot, throat chakra, because I'm talking nonstop. Maybe you don't like that, but you know, at least it's helping me with getting my voice back after lots of talking. Protection programs. I love this because I'm so sensitive that I'm just getting too much information in my system during the day. So the general protection is really helping me with that. Also, electrosensitivity, electrosmog is helping me a lot. Mental, if you're just having too much on your mind. Subtle, if you have problems with entities. Planets, with full moon, definitely is going to help you. Geopathy, if there are some radiations coming from the earth. Sleeping, really, really lovely programs. And then, of course, the deep cycle programs, the collaboration of 6 universities together ended in the results of these strong programs. If you start applying these, always start with the first application, then a day later, the second one, the third day, the third application, and then your body is being prepared for the strong programs that come afterwards. Really, really lovely. So these are the programs, and depending on what kind of Healy you have access to these kind of programs. What I want to show you also is that we have subscriptions. And the subscriptions are like Healy Watch programs, Meridian Watch programs. We have an extra program that the company just gave us as a gift. because in Corona time and all these virus things, we just need to support our immune function a little bit better. And they created this program that is actually helping us with a lot of things that should be occurring right now. But of course, we cannot make hard claims of this. So we call it bioenergetic boost. Then we have, so this program we get, everyone gets this. This is what the company giving us as a gift. For a subscription with digital nutrition, we have 4 categories of mixtures to help you with brain, hair, skin, heart, muscles, nails, ears, thyroid, age, vegan people who have a lot of shortages in nutrients, weight, blood, alkaline, etc. If you have alcohol intake too much, menstruation, spiritually, toxins, fertility, libido, allergies. So really great programs that help everyone with women, men, children, older, energy, growth, wounds, whatever. Then we have about 72 substances. So we can have all the vitamins, Q10, cysteine, lysine, zinc, the arachidonic acid, amazing, vitamin E, iodine, vitamin B12, B1, copper, magnesium, serotonin. We'll love it, love it, love it. If you want to have instant happiness, take the serotonin program. Only very short, 15 minutes. Melatonin, exactly the same. Who is taking melatonin supplements for sleeping? Did you know? Look at the package. The package is saying that you can only use it for 2 weeks. Then you need to have a pause. But no one is doing that. So we are literally making our body less strong for melatonin. So we don't produce melatonin anymore. What would it be if we can produce melatonin, but on a complete natural way without any synthetic substance we get in our body? Love it. I can tell you that. So very profound programs for that. So that's a subscription. Ask the person who referred you to this webinar if you want to have more information about it. And then we have the Analyze app, and the Analyze app is profound. I love this app because we can do analysis, and we can also work without the cables and the microcurrents. Are you still on? Yep. Come on, do something. Work with me. Okay, so the Analyze app is, if you have chosen the Resonance pack, you get access to this extra app where you can do analysis. So let me just close this and then it will open. Sometimes it can happen. We're working with technology, so yep, all these things we have to deal with. Maybe they are working at the database right now, so that could be possible. But normally, let's say we can make beautiful analysis. Yes, there we are. We can create clients. So we can add a new client, a personal, an animal, plant, organization, building, vehicle, group. If we want to add a person, we can put a picture in it. We can record the vibration of that person, because each person has their own unique vibration. So let me create my vibration. I put my name in, Mart, and my name, date of birth, whatever, and I create a profile. So if I do an analysis with my profile, then at least the Healy can recognize me, even if I would be within 1,000 people around me. So we're working with the quantum field, really, really profound. We do a lot of trainings about this, so we go much more in depth about it, but it's just to give a little bit of possibilities to show you what we have. So you just saw all the categories we have: the gold cycle, the pain psyche, learning, fitness, job, sleep, beauty, skin. And you saw that they contain a lot of programs. So if you want to know where you have the greatest resonance with which program from the fitness category, for example, you just do an analysis. What it is doing is that it is testing now my energy field, my aura, my information field, and it's just testing on, okay, which programs are suitable for me right now. So the program, circulation, and performance are at the moment from the top 5 are the most important programs for me. Then comes the weight program, then comes the deep relaxation and regeneration. I always say that everything above 40% is what you can really need. But so circulation is something that I could choose. I can do 2 things right now. I can go to the treatment app, attach my body to the electrodes, select the circulation program to get all the frequencies tested on my body and being uploaded also with microcurrents that are just giving and creating an environment where my cells will uptake the nutrients much better. Or I can do the most important frequencies from the circulation, the performance, the weight, the deep relaxation and regeneration. I can upload these as a frequency in my energy field. That is a possibility, and I don't need cables for that. What the Healy is turning into is like a radio antenna, and it is sending out these frequencies, and my information field, my energy, my aura picks it up and translate it into what needs to be done. I can do that 4 times, 6 times a day, 1 minute 20. I can do that 3 times a day, 2 minute 49. 1 time a day, 5 minute 59. 1 time a day, 12 minute 40. But 12 minute 40 is already like very, very strong, very, yeah. Do you need 12 minutes? I wouldn't do longer than this. There are longer times in it, but this is for clearing buildings or organizations. So, maybe just do 1 minute 20. So if I select this, it is sending now the most important frequencies. It's only a few, it's not the 400 per program, but only the most important ones. It's sending now to my energy field. And my energy picks it up and is doing something with it. Some people don't understand this because what they don't see is what they don't believe. But I can tell you one thing. See this as having a remote control where you are sending information to the television to do certain things. This is what's happening. So if you want to go to the next channel, you give information, your TV knows, okay, I need to go to the next channel. So the Healy is now the remote control and you are the television. So basically we're getting this information. Some people still don't understand it, but you don't necessarily need to understand something to know that it is working. Maybe you are watching this webinar via your mobile phone or tablet or a computer or a laptop that is just standing in a space. My computer is standing here in my living room in this space. There's no wire connected to my Wi-Fi. So my computer is translating my mumbling, the images you see, it is translating it into frequencies, sending it to the Wi-Fi via the air. That is sending it to a satellite, and it's sending to somewhere in the world. And you are watching this, and there is no wire between you and me. Interesting, right? So everything is frequencies. So we can give information to the other end of the world, and it's also with this. What I also want to show you is that we have also access to 7 homeopathic remedies. We have 39 Bach flower remedies. We have 42 materia medica, which are medical herbs, 76 amino acids, 68 Australian bush flowers, 48 Alaskan gem elixirs, 27 Schussler salts, 64 I Ching. Really, really profound programs. And what you see is that if you select one of these, it is also giving you a description about what's going on. So it's giving you some more insights about how a person should feel or whatever. So I have now the most, the remedy that is resonating the most with me, with 73%, the burden of a weak willpower, cannot say no and is taken advantage of, is compensated. The judgment ability and assuredness of when to say yes or no is strengthened, and thereby the potential development potential is supported. Really spot on. I just was busy with some kind of a person that is just driving me nuts at the moment because they want to get something done. And it's not possible. And they still can say like, okay, Mart, you need to do this. And I say, okay, sure, let me try it. And it's not possible. So, this is a theme right now. So all these kind of things are giving you a nice action of what to do. I can also make PDFs of this and I can send it. So if I send it to someone, okay, take some time apparently. I think the app is really a little bit slow today. Normally it is a little faster. So okay, come on, do something. Let me just, there we had it. Sorry, I was too fast. What we also can do is we can do an analysis. And the analysis is amazing of our aura. An aura analysis is really letting you know what kind of chakras are a little bit out of balance and needs to be much more in balance. Sorry that it takes a little longer this time. I'm thinking they are working on the app right now, so normally it's much quicker. So the aura analysis, I do a record of the aura. That is showing me, okay, this is the interpretation. This is what's a little bit out of balance. So my forehead chakra, my throat chakra, and my root chakra, they need to have a little bit more energy. And I notice it because I'm a little bit mumbling and I cannot come out of my words so easily today. So my forehead definitely needs to have a little bit more in-depth analysis. So I do a further analysis. Again, we have all kind of trainings that show you exactly how this works and what you need. And then, of course, you also get a lot of insights about what that is. And then we can also do that as a vibration. So I'm going to start right away with the 12-minute to keep myself in balance while I'm talking to you. A lot of information, huh? Yeah, I know. But we have beautiful people here around, 137 actually. So what I actually want to do is that if you have a beautiful experience to share with us, please raise your hand or put it in the comment if you want to share your beautiful experience. This is not a time for questions. I'm sorry. If you have questions, you can go back to the person who referred you to this webinar. So let's keep it for experiences sharing only. And the only thing that we can also do because of compliance, we can only talk about our own experiences and not about your husband or your friend or whatever. It's because of compliance. I'm sorry, but we need to stick to the rules. If you want to unmute yourself to share your experience, that's also possible. You are free to do it right now. So I see all kind of new people. I have no idea who is who, but let me see if I can. If you want to unmute yourself, go ahead and share your beautiful experience. We have so many people. Iwan, he's a physiotherapist in the Netherlands. I see that he's online. Maybe he can share with us what his experience is. Iwan, go ahead.
Hey, Mart, you're doing a fabulous job. Thank you for this presentation. Yes, my name is Ivan Yorks. I live in Amsterdam, and my background is physiotherapy, but I'm not doing that so much anymore. So what I can tell you, if I need energy, I like to eat, so I'm, how do you say that, a guy who likes to eat nice food. So when you eat too much, you know how you feel after that. So when I put on that energy program and just the basic addition, the golden cycle, I mean, you get the energy like that. You see, you need that's my experience, especially if you have to drive long roads. That's the program I use. But if you, as a physiotherapist, people always ask you, "Oh, I have a problem with my lower back, and can you help me?" Well, that's how I went to someone, a friend of mine, and she was trembling to open the door. And, I said, you know what? And that was last year. I just told her, you know what? I have a new device, a personal medical device. Let me just try it on you and let's see what happened. I mean, in 20 minutes, she just stood up and said, "Oh, I'm a terrible host. Let me get something to drink for you." Walking like nothing ever happened. And she's like, "What is this? I mean, you saw how I opened the door, Ivan. You saw how I did it." And I said, "You know what? I just received it 6 weeks ago. So this is what it is. I need to have one of those. I need it. I need to have one of those." So that was my experience in the beginning of, a year after this, we have much more experiences, but I'll settle for this one.
Thank you, Ivan, for sharing. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I see that Patrick Wise is online. Patrick, you have also beautiful experiences. Can you share them with us? For example, what you have noticed with even distance treatment. Maybe you can you can share that with us.
Hey, Mark, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I think one of the most amazing things that we've come across on our team is just doing the remote healing sessions on people and just finding out how spot on they've been. And it's honestly been the biggest tool that we've used in building our team, because when people have an actual experience where even they're in a different state or a different country, and yet the Healy can find them in the information field and then tell them things about themselves. It's pretty remarkable. So that really has been a thing, and it's not just analyzing; it's actually giving treatments. So you can definitely look at the Facebook experiences page. I don't want to give other people's experiences as far as the remote sessions, but I can just tell you that they've been completely remarkable. And I think it's just a beautiful, beautiful product that's helping, tens and probably hundreds of thousands of people at this point.
What has it done for you?
For me, it's improved my sleep. My sleep was 3 to 4 hours a night before I got the Healy. And I've honestly only ran the sleep program probably 3 times the first week that I got the Healy. And ever since then, my night sleep has been 8, 9, 10 hours, sometimes 14 hours, and just feel super refreshed. It's given me more energy. It has, instead of taking pain pills, I've just run the pain programs, and it helps with any headaches or muscle aches or backache. So it's done that. It's helped my dog with anxiety. She's got super bad loud sound anxiety that would just put her into fight or flight and very much distress for hours upon hours if a fireworks would go off or a loud sound. And during the 4th of July week, I ran the relax program and the sleep program on her, and the results were just remarkable. I mean, she was calm within 15 minutes. And now she doesn't even really, if there are loud sounds or fireworks, she doesn't even really react. So it's pretty impressive stuff.
Wonderful, Patrick. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
I see that iPhone has unmuted him or herself and raised a hand. So share your beautiful experience with us, please.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Wonderful. Hi.
My name is Anita White. I have a new phone. That's why it says iPhone. I have to get registered. But I'm actually 72 years old. And I had severe arthritis. And in 2015, I had double knee replacements. And then last year, in June, I had foot reconstruction. My toes were going the wrong way. But I got my Healy in May. And I think what happened when I had the knee replacements, I'm allergic to titanium, so they were always still hurting and burning. And the same thing with my foot. And actually, there was not a day that I can remember going without pain. Until I got my pain is a horrible thing to go through on a daily basis. People have taken drugs and done terrible things to get out of pain. And when I got my Healy, and 3 days later, I had no pain, I really felt that I was dreaming, that I was just in a hallucinatory state. But since the day I got the Healy on the 15th of May until today, I have had no pain in my knees and on my foot. I'm working on my back. I can stand. I have arthritis on my tailbone. I can stand for maybe 10 minutes before I have to sit down and regroup. And I really hadn't thought, and this I don't know why, about using my Healy on my back. And I have a group of 7 women who are my age that bought Healys. And so I earned a residence. But since I've been using the Healy on my back, I'm telling you that the time period for me to be standing up and having to sit down to regroup and all the programs work. I told both my upline guys, the best thing about the Healy, I don't care how long it takes you to get it. Have a girlfriend, it took her 60 days. But the key word is it works. And at 72, I'm not into telling people fairy tales or lying or having anything to do with something that don't work. If it don't work, I'm going to tell you, baby, that's a good idea, but it don't work. The thing about the Healy is it works. It works. And if it worked on me, I don't know anybody that it won't work on, because when they tell me there's nothing I can do but give me incense to get me addicted to certain things, I don't want to do that. So I would have rather had the pain, and I did. But with the Healy, I have no pain.
Thank you. Beautiful.
That kind of stuff.
Thank you so much for sharing. It cracks me up, sorry. Sometimes people are asking like, okay, it's so much fun to share a beautiful device and also make a good income with it. But this is the reason why we are doing this. How profound is it if we can really help someone to have a better life, to have, thank you so much for sharing with us. This is really, I'm really happy that this happened. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. I try not to cry when I tell that story, but I am so emotionally attached to my Healy. I'm telling you, the results just speak for themselves.
Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Unfortunately, we have to go further. There's always like so many people want to share. I see a lot of new faces, so this is really, really thankful that we have so much new faces. So if you have something to share with us, please let us know. But otherwise, I refer you with a warm heart to our Facebook group, Healy Global Experiences. And this page has already like 13,000 members. But what's happening is that we have beautiful results of people here, young children, older people, animals, whatever. Just go and have a look in this beautiful thing that we see how quick people, but also animals, are recovering from a lot of things. If you have, if you want to post something, this group is not for questions. This group is only for experiences because we want to have a safe environment, and also that Big Pharma is watching, of course, and we want to keep this group as long in the air as possible. So there we need to have a few guidelines. So please follow the guidelines before posting something. Thank you. Everyone, of course, wants to know about how much is a Healy costing them. Well, I told you that the time waivers are costing between $12,000 and $40,000. So, and a normal average treatment, one treatment only with a therapist, is costing about $100. So you can imagine like how much it will cost you if you go every month, once or twice, to a therapist, and it's only per person. Did you know that you can have already a Healy for the price of $470 plus tax? Only $470. Then you have the Healy Gold. This is the most basic version. It has all the 7 programs, the Gold Cycle programs, plus 1 program group of your choice. So if you want to do the fitness programs, this is yours. If you want to do the mental balance programs, then choose that one. So the Healy Gold is the most basic one. But we have also 3 other versions. The Healy Holistic Health is the most bought one because beside the Gold Cycle program, it has 8 more program pages for only $500 more. So we have the local stimulation, which are the pain psyche programs, the bioenergetic balance 1 and 2, mental balance, meridians 1 and 2, sleep and skin. Only $942 investment in yourself plus tax. The Healy Holistic Health Plus is the version where you also have the 6 lifestyle programs like learning, fitness, job, beauty, chakras, protection programs for the price and an investment of $1,413 plus tax into yourself. So these first 3 versions, they are only working with the programs that are working with electrodes. So you need to be hooked on some cables. These first 3 versions are not suitable for people with a pacemaker, epileptic disorders, or with which are pregnant. The Healy resonance is exactly the same Healy as the first 3 versions. It only determines, it is the same Healy all the time, so the version you choose decides which access you have to certain programs. So you can always upgrade, you can add new programs to it, you can buy them separately, all is possible. The Healy Resonance is the same as the Holistic Health Plus, but you have access to the Analyze app. So only with this version you can do analysis and remote distance healing, and you can treat animals with it. The price, and you can treat, because this is not working with microcurrents, but with only frequencies. So you can also treat people with epileptic disorders and pacemakers and pregnant people. The price for this, the investment in yourself, $2,357 plus tax. Doesn't matter what kind of Healy you take. If you want to have the resonance and you want to test it out, there is a 14-day period that goes in from the moment you get your Healy delivered at your door. Then 14 days go in to test out everything. Test it out on yourself. Test it out on family, friends, colleagues. Test it out as much as possible. Because maybe your friends or family, they have a faster result than you have. If you don't like it whatsoever, send one email to support. If support replies to it only 1 week or 2 weeks later, maybe because they are swamped, don't worry. You know, you have sent the ticket in as fast as possible. So in general, risk-free money-back guarantee if you have replied within 14 days that you want to send it back. They did surveys where the Healy is being used for. Most people use it for pain, regeneration, health promotion, or let's say prevention, then stress, chronic complaints, acute complaints, sleep concerns, etc., etc. 80% is using the Healy daily, 10% as required. With the Healy, you can do 3 till 4 programs per person per day. Can you imagine how many treatments you can do? And this graph is not even saying like if you use it 3 times a day. Maybe some people are using it 1 time a day. But what we see is that within 2 weeks' time, a whopping 96% have a positive result. They have improvements of their concerns from completely to slightly, but at least it's 96%. Only 4% didn't have the effect yet. But that's because everybody is different. You know, there are people who are like 15% is having positive effects after 1 application, another 15 after 2 applications, and another 20% after 3 applications. So half of all people have a positive effect within 3 applications. There's 17% of people, they need more than 10 applications. And everybody is different. If there's so much going on for many, many years in your body, don't expect Healy to be a magic pill. Don't expect Healy to be a magic wand that is just helping you instantly and you can run a marathon again. It takes time. Get more energy, get more nutrients in your cell, get more toxins out of your cells, and it takes time. But eventually your body will regenerate and help. So for some person it is quicker and for other people it is slower. Accept that. But it will benefit you even after the 2 weeks. What happens is that because of this, 94% of people are so happy with their Healy that they want to share it with others. And this is exactly why Marcus Mika has chosen for social selling. Not everyone wants this, and that's perfectly fine. You can be a customer. We love customers. Just become a customer. There's no pressure behind you, nothing at all. You just use the Healy And maybe if you like it, you can even refer someone. And what happens then is that you get some reward points. And the reward points are very cool. You can always choose also to become a member. You can do it right now. And a member means someone who wants to build a business with it. Some people want to build a business, and some people don't want that. That's perfectly fine. But at least the possibility is there to give you the chance to earn your Healy back, to earn a few €100 a month. And for the ones who want, with some part-time efforts, you can get a full replacing income. Or for the few of us who really want to have the progress of the sky is the limit, everything is possible. So just choose the path you want to do. If you don't want that, then just go back to the person who referred you to this webinar, start as a customer, choose the Healy, use it for 14 days. If you don't like it, send it back and you get a full money back guarantee. But for the ones who want to know how to earn their Healy back, or how to earn a free upgrade, or how to start a business, little business, big business, a sky is the limit business, whatever, maybe I can give you some insights. Of course, you need to put in the work. It's not just going from one point to the other. But I can tell you one thing. We are the fastest growing social selling company within the last 10 years right now. Social selling, everyone is doing it. If you are happy with the Healy and you tell about it, you are excited, you share it with others. You maybe do a nice, interesting post on Facebook and people are saying like, hey, what is that device? I want to have more information. You say, there's a webinar on Tuesday that is explaining everything about it. Maybe there's something for you, maybe not. That person can determine if they like it, yes or no. Social selling, some people call it network marketing. I don't like that word so much because it reminds me of the old days that you need to stock your garage full with products and you need to sell them because otherwise the products are getting overdue. This is not the thing. This is just a simple, easy concept. You're happy with it. You refer people to your own custom landing page, which is your own custom-made web page. You don't have to build anything. You just create a name and everything is already in business. And if a Healy is sold via that page, the company knows exactly that it comes from you. So you are getting the commission. So simple it is. We can do business also in 45 countries. So who do you know in one of these pink countries? Who do you know? Or who do you know who knows people in one of these countries? We can help them. We can help them with a better health. We can help them even with a better financial wealth if they're open for it. And you will benefit from it as well, of course, because they are in your team. So think about it. Normally, if you go to a shop, about 90% of what a product is worth goes back into the middleman, into advertising, etc., etc. Think about the nice Adidas sneakers or worth $100. They are maybe made for $10. The other $90 goes into the very expensive radio and TV commercials and all the advertising and the middleman. Healy doesn't have that. We are the people who are doing the word of mouth. It's the best advertising there is. And because of that, the price of a Healy is much cheaper than what it would be in a shop. So from a Healy worth €500, €250, half of it goes back into the network. From a Healy resonance worth €2,500, €1,250 goes back in the network. Part is what you are getting. Part is what the team is getting to help you accomplish beautiful things. So this is a real nice structure about social selling. This is helping thousands of people around the world right now, tens of thousands of people around the world right now, let's say that way, that have lost their job. I'm very happy that I started with this 1.5 years ago, and during the lockdown, I couldn't do any business in my clinic, but I had my Healy business, and I was making amazing amounts. I was even making more than I was earning with my clinic. So yes, it is possible. This is not going from the first day on, but you will build it up gradually. And now 1.5 years later, I have a team of thousands of people. I have helped and blessed thousands of people's lives with a better health, but also with a better financial wealth, with maybe a few €100 extra or a few $100 extra. So the euros is being recalculated into points. So you can convert the euros, the points, into your own currency. That makes it easier. So everywhere in the world, depending on what kind of pack you start with, determines what kind of percentage of these point value you are getting. For the USA, so for example, if you start with a gold, you sell a gold, you get €75. If you start with a gold and you sell a resonance, you get €375. If you start with a resonance at the right side, if you start with a resonance and you sell a gold, you get €100. If you start with a resonance and you sell a resonance, you get €500. In the USA, it's differently. Because of FTC regulations, they say it should not be determining what the commission is depending on the package you start with. So if you sell a gold, you just get €75. If you sell a resonance, you get €500. So it doesn't matter what kind of package you start with. If you want to earn a free upgrade, that is possible. If you start, for example, with a gold and you find 3 people in the first 30 days after you have been subscribed, and it doesn't matter if these are customers or members, doesn't matter. You find 3 people. What happens is that you are getting, as a gift from the company, on top of the direct commissions, you're getting a free upgrade worth 500, maybe €1,000. You can do this one time. You can find 3 people. You can find 6 people to get 2 upgrades. You can find 9 people to get 3 upgrades to the resonance. If you start with a resonance, an investment of €2,500 into yourself, and you find 3 people within the first 30 days, and they all keep their Healy, you will get an extra additional Healy resonance as a gift from the company. So worth €2,500 gift extra from the company, and you can lend it out, borrow it out to a team member who maybe has a gold but a big network. You can give it to your mother. You can use it for your spouse. Everything is possible. It is your Healy. In that fast start period, the first 30 days after you have started, there is also an extra cash bonus. And if you sell a Holistic Health or Holistic Health Plus or a resonance, you're getting 25, 50 or €100 extra as a bonus, just to stimulate you if you want it. This is not necessary, but if you want it, this is a possibility. This is just for the people who really want to lift off, and even if you don't have your Healy, you can always refer people to a webinar. When we started and when the first people in the USA started, most of them didn't even have a Healy. I had to wait 5 weeks before I got my Healy. But in the meantime, I was still helping people to invite them. Hey, I got a meeting. Hey, I got an interesting webinar. Maybe it's something for you. Hey, look at this video. Maybe it's something for you. And I build business even without a Healy. So it is possible. You don't necessarily need to have one in order to already get people interested, and maybe they can choose themselves. There is always this 14-day money-back guarantee. So people have no risk in trying it out. Yeah. The compensation at a glance. So we have the direct bonus. We have dual bonus in where you are building a left team and you're building a right team. People are selling and buying Healys in the left team. People are buying and selling Healys in the right team. So points will be gathered in the left team, points will be gathered in the right team. At the end of the month, it will be looked at the weakest team. All the points being gathered there, 15% of it is a dual bonus. And in the beginning, it is not so much, but if you can imagine that you have already thousands of people in your team, and I'm providing them, me as a leader, I decided to help you with webinars, to help you with information, to give trainings, to educate other people, starting talents in our team, spot them, help them to get them successful. That is basically what is paying me beautiful bonuses. And this is like I told you, the sky is the limit. That's a possibility. Money is not everything, but I can tell you that without money, you don't come anywhere. But if you are using that money for example, my parents to buy the solar panels on their roof, or to help them with their mortgage because they are retired, this is my gift to my family I can give right now and provide. This is what I can do now while I'm having a better income. So all these other bonuses, they are amazing, but there are beautiful trainings for you that explain all these things, ranks and cars and leadership bonuses, and if you want that. But this is not important right now. The most important thing is that you have a good feeling about what a Healy can do, what it can do for you, what the possibilities are. And also think about the extension of application possibilities. I always say the Healy right now is what the iPhone 1 was, let's say 14 years ago. When it came out, there were only Blackberries, there were only, there were Blackberries, there were Nokia telephones. And they were laughing at iPhone and Apple, like, what should we do with apps? Well, I can tell you one thing. That thing was a disruptor in the market. And see how the world has changed with all the apps. This is exactly what Healy is doing. So we only have started. We're not this big company yet. Yes, there are maybe a few hiccups here and there, but this is something that you just have to be part of. Think about the possibilities. Think about all the people we can help. Therefore, just go back to the person who referred you to this webinar. I thank you for your patience.